Hey there, everyone. Happy Thursday evening, and welcome to Team Love and Light. I am Dr. Kayla Abide. I am a chiropractor, a nutritionist, and I am in charge of Team Love and Light alongside my husband, Dr. Anthony Abide, who is also a chiropractor. So, what we're going to do tonight is we're going to go over how you utilize these patches. So we host a training here as our team live every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the second Thursday of every single month, we highlight you got your patches, and now what? This easy live class is an opportunity for you to dive in, for you to ask questions, and for you to get just enough information to get you started without the overwhelm. So first and foremost, it is November 2025, and I have been utilizing these patches myself for almost 2.5 years now. And so I want to share with everybody the ease and the process, especially gaining clarity, utilizing the opportunity to gain some confidence into a system that we typically have never even heard of before, because phototherapy is pretty common, but these patches are so unique and so special. So we're going to simplify it down with lots of clarity and lots of confidence to get you starting patching so that you can do this with ease and stay consistent. So, like I said in the beginning, these calls are hosted every single Thursday. The second Thursday of every single month, we go over the you got your patches and now what concept, where you could tune in, always ask live questions, and you are able to get the information that you are desiring for yourself, and for your family that you may be patching as well. Just know we are going to get you rooted in, connected in, so that you can have the most support and the most ease as you start your patching journey. So tonight's goal is simple. We're going to show you exactly how to utilize those patches, exactly where to begin, and how to track your changes and to understand what your body may be doing as you start this healing journey. So first and foremost, before you met me, you most likely got a welcome email. This welcome email included a few things. Two of these are very, very important. The first inside the welcome email is the training portal login. In the training portal login, you have access to this patching education course. So you have an opportunity to click the Patching 101 link in this welcome email, create your own unique login to this free course offering that's going to give you a lot more in-depth information that we're going over tonight. So this is basically tonight is a quick start guide, and then you are going to dive into that training education portal. After that training education portal in the welcome email, you're going to have a link to join a Telegram group. That Telegram group is to access all of the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of patchers that want to join support. It's a community of hundreds of individuals in our downline of patching. I am in there. There's several other practitioners and avid patchers in there that will help you answer questions, feel like you have support, and just a nice way to have a beautiful community all connected with the same support tools, the same help, and most of us all get on the same training calls and education experience. So those quick start guides are in there as well. You will also have instructions on how to log into your back office, how to change your order, how to add new patches in, which we're going to talk about tonight. But you're also going to have access to a free health tracker. So I have created a health tracker in that training portal, that Patching 101 education hosted by ThriveCart, that is completely free to you. You just have to go in and download the health tracker, and you can utilize as much or as little as you track your health journey, which we're also going to talk about tonight too. So that email that you got, that welcome email, is home base. Your sponsor that you ordered patches from may have edited or catered that welcome email a little bit differently, but it should at least house those two individual things in there. If by chance you're seeing this video and you do not have access to those links yet, please email me at hello@drkaylaabide.love, or find me on Telegram at Dr. Kayla Abide, and I will get you those links and add you to our Telegram group and get you access to that training portal. It is a requirement that you are under Team Love and Light. That is under myself and my husband. Somewhere in the downline, there's thousands underneath us. So if you connect to us in some way, you get access to that free training portal. And it is everything you would need to continue on after this starting video. So let's keep going. Once we get into that patching portal, like I talked about, you're going to learn videos on how the patches work specifically in terms of the science and the education, what patching placements work best and how to change patching placements, how to wear them exclusively if you don't want them touching your skin or you're more sensitive or you have questions, how to order patches, like I mentioned, healing timelines, expectations, and a lot more advanced videos that we continue to go over and get added in on the healing expressions or symptoms you may experience throughout your healing journey. So now that we got the overview going, let's dive into the most important part. You got your patches in the mail. They look like this and potentially look like this, and you want to learn how to wear them. So the few basic rules that you want to go over. First, our ideal goal is X39 daily, 12 hours on, 12 hours off. It is ideal to start this during the daytime hours. So if it's nighttime and you're watching this, start tomorrow. We want to utilize these during the daytime when we first start because we want to optimize on our energy, our repair processes, activating or modulating that cellular activity, and helping with our supportive regeneration activity. So placement options for this, you could either place it below the belly button, 3 fingers below the belly button, or you could place it on the back of the neck. This is what this patch looks like. So it's super easy. You could take the stickies off the back, you place it on the back of the neck or below the belly button, and you leave it on for 12 hours. I like to say I put it on in the morning when I brush my teeth. I take it off in the evening when I brush my teeth before I go to bed. X39 is the patch that you want to wear consistently daily for at least a year. And yes, I know it's a challenge, but I invite you to opt into something that is as easy as putting it on and taking it off and watch after 365 days how quickly your entire life transforms. Like I said, I am 2.5 years into this and I don't ever plan on stopping this for myself, for my family, my children, and my animals, and everybody in my practice. I make sure to share this important tool. All right, so let's keep going. Ideally, everybody wants to start with X39. If you have ordered a kit, a wholesale kit catered to your specific health desired goals, you may have gotten more than 1 pack of patches, especially if you opted in to get a lot of savings. And to save on these patches, you may have an Eon, an Alabita, a carnosine, a glutathione, LifeWave for pain, energy enhancer for energy, you name it. We want everybody to start X39 for at least a week by itself and or combined with Eon. So we want Eon and X39 to be the primary 2 patches we're starting just for ease of easing into this process, getting your body up and activating. So when we add on Eon, you can start Eon the same day you start X39 or sometime within that first week. This is the one that helps with parasympathetic balance, inflammatory response, nervous system. It's great for stress, sleep, mood, and also helps with inflammation and pain. So we could add in Eon, and if we're wearing Eon, we want to optimize Eon in a different location than where we're putting X39. So I typically say if you're putting X39 on the back of the neck, then you put Eon below the belly button or vice versa. So there is no specific place that you have to put the patches for them to quote unquote work, but it is ideal that when we start patching, you put them in one of the places where the clinical research was done just to optimize the body and get it up and activating and moving. So once we start with X39 and Eon, you can continue to add other patches, and the order of those patches and the desired recommendation is in that Patching Portal 101 that explains each patch, when to implement it, how many days to wear it, how to ease into it, and how to optimize it based off of your health expressions or the symptoms that you may be experiencing and you desire to have goals of reversing them or repairing them. And remember, none of these patches are treating anything. We're optimizing the vital source energy, the vital cellular energy in our body to be able to repair and regenerate already how it was planning to do. It's just putting more gas in your gas tank, if you will. So to just go over a brief order of operations, in my opinion, and you'll learn this in the patching portal, you start with X39 and or X39 and Eon. At any point in time, you can add an LifeWave for pain. So you could add LifeWave day 1 with an X39 if you want to. This patch is more of an extracurricular patch. It's not doing any healing work. It's just basically a band-aid for pain without chemicals or stimulants or drugs. Easy to wear every single day until your pain goes away and you don't need it anymore. Same thing with energy enhancer. You could add energy enhancer in at any point in time in starting those patches. What I'm more talking about per se is the bigger, more in-depth patches that help modulate and optimize those other pools of vital source energy. So when we have those underway and started, we would most typically, in my opinion, add an Alavita next if you have it, Order of operations would then continue with carnosine. I personally recommend at least 3 to 4 weeks of consistent daily patching with X39 before adding carnosine, 2 weeks at minimum, just giving your body optimum pace and adaptability and biological space so it has the opportunity to heal and repair, because healing is not a race, it's more like a marathon that lasts forever. Next, we have glutathione, which would come typically, ideally, after you implement carnosine. And carnosine, like I said, after about 3 to 4 weeks, ideally of X39, and glutathione typically anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks after you're on X39 and or after you implement the carnosine at week 3 or 4. So just going over that brief overview gives you some insight into the order of operations, adding the others later, and helping add more vitality to your overall health and well-being so that you're not over bombarding your system. Because much like we've been taught that more equals faster healing or better, more abundant healing, that unfortunately is not the case. We need to give our body time to undo patterns, to adapt to the environment and the experience of healing that we're going through, and give our body the time and the space to heal. And with that, I want to go into 3 ideal ways that you could optimize your patching journey from the forefront. We are electrical chemical gradients. We are electrical chemical beings. We are balanced individuals with water and salt predominantly. So these patches, they're not putting anything into your body, not putting anything into your bloodstream, but what they are doing is optimizing how your body is able to conduct its healing potential. So we want to have adequate amounts of water in our body. We want to drink structured, really high quality water. We want to make sure we don't have fluoride or those types of things. So the best quality water that you could potentially get your hands on would be the most ideal, so our patches are going to work more efficiently when we have more water in our body. You also want real salt. You want your body to have a great balance of minerals, and this comes from real salt, not Morton salt, not the yellow girl in the rain jacket. We want real salt. So throw out Morton salt, get yourself some Celtic salt, Redmond's real salt, and Baja Gold salt. Those two are my ideal. They're my ideal because Redmond's real salt and Baja Gold salt have the highest amount of minerals, over 90 minerals in that salt content with such low sodium. If you can only get your hands on Celtic salt just has a little bit less minerals, a little higher sodium content. But the key here is you want to utilize salt to taste, maybe sprinkle it in your water. You want to bring in salt. This is not a salt that's going to increase your sodium levels. It's a necessity to have that amount of salt in your tissues so that you can adapt and you can continue to heal and revitalize. Next, let's talk about the third thing. The third thing would be ding, 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 chocolate. And it has to be dark chocolate, 70% cacao and above. Dark chocolate has magnesium. It also has great nervous system benefits. It supports energy and hormones. But what it actually has inside of it that's great for this is copper. So X39 patch helps your body via your own light to produce your necessity of GHK copper peptide. So we need the ingredients in the kitchen in order for them to be made. We have to follow the recipe. So having dark chocolate, at least 1 piece a day, 70% cacao and above would be ideal to help have that copper in your system to mobilize. I go into all of this and more. And like I said, this is a very brief overview for you to just dive in with a couple little nuggets to feel like you're confident, and it's simple and it's easy for you to commit to this. But if you do want to dive in deeper, I have an entire video, which I will link below on my YouTube channel, where you can learn how to optimize your entire patching journey via the healthy wheel pie chart that I go over with my practice members, all of my virtual clients, and of course, anybody who patches. So let's keep continuing on. We just have a couple more things to cover. Next up would be tracking your healing. So I know this sounds crazy, and this is maybe something that you're trying for the first time, and you may have tried a lot of things and lost all hope along your healing journey. But this section is very, very important because we want to track what's changing daily. And change doesn't always mean it's a positive change. Things may change or feel a little bit different or off, or they require and desire rest of your own body before you actually see that big, huge firework moment. So I really invite you to take pictures of your body, of any scars, any tissue that feels unsettled, or any wounds, any mobility changes you have in terms of range of motion. Take some videos, track your stress patterns. Let's look at your sleep, your energy, your pain, your mood, digestive situations, your nervous system, tension, or how much calm you have, your hair, skin, and nails. Take a good synopsis of those. The health tracker in the patient education portal on ThriveCart that I gift you is incredible to be able to just take just an observation when you start day one, and then update those as you feel, either weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, as you continue on, because skin and scarring and changing of those types of wounds will literally start within days. So I will say that I've seen some of the coolest changes with scar tissue in as short as 9 days, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So you want to be taking pictures just so you could show yourself what's actually changing. Because I'll be honest, I've been working with patients for almost a decade now, and you can tell when people change from the outside because I don't live in your life. You may be in pain constantly, not able to do your job, your activities of daily living, but I can tell what makes a difference on the outside because I'm only viewing you one part of the day. You live with yourself constantly, and so those changes aren't as abrupt or noticeable, but it makes a big difference to have an objective point of view to look, especially if you start to notice symptoms are increasing because you're going through healing loops, which we'll talk about, or you may notice things have changed and it's a little bit uncomfortable because that's what healing is. It's an opportunity for us to loop back around and find homeostasis. And it's always great to have a tracking guide for you to look back on so you know when things change and you're not just storing it up in here. One other thing I want to talk about is change does not mean perfection. Change means something is shifting, something is different from your usual pattern. And I mentioned it earlier, healing is not a sprint, it is a marathon, but it's also not linear. It's more like a roller coaster or a feedback loop. So sometimes things get louder or bigger before they get better. They may be a little bit more painful, they may require some detoxing, they may require some unsettled feelings, and that's okay. So I want to talk about the healing phase of inflammation. Inflammation in chronic amounts is bombarding and it's very loud. But when we start to heal and we have inflammation coming in to actually heal an area, it requires heat, it requires fluid, it requires this opportunity of being inflamed to bring in the repair components to help our body finalize that healing and then to clean out that tissue after it's been repaired. So sometimes during healing you may have old wounds that surface, whether mentally, physically, or emotionally. This means symptoms can resurface. We could sometimes call this retracing. I dive more into this in terms of biological adaptation and conflict resolution in the education portal. So just be aware that if your body starts to change, it doesn't mean the patches aren't working. It means that they're absolutely doing something that you may not feel a positive effect to. And that's because it takes time. We have to put one foot in front of the other. So some of the biggest signs that I invite you to look for when you start patching, even if we have really big healing goals, is, are you desiring more water? Are you noticing you're dreaming again if you weren't dreaming before? Or are you having vivid dreams or strange dreams or just waking up thinking, what in the world? Are you noticing your sleep change? And that doesn't mean always for the positive. If you're a great sleeper and you start patching and you notice your sleep is changing, that doesn't mean the patch is doing the wrong thing. It means your body now has more energy, vital energy to change things and to optimize the way your body's healing to go back to a regular balance and most likely a deeper, more abundant, nourishing sleep that you probably actually haven't experienced even though you thought you were sleeping well. So just remember, all are normal in terms of signs of repairing the body. Sometimes there's no rhyme or way that we all heal the same way. So this is why building things like the patient education portal, as well as a Telegram group and connecting with your sponsor who invited you to share these patches with yourself is ideal. To always ask for help. There's no silly or stupid questions, and most of the time someone has also gone through it. So please don't hesitate to reach out. So just kind of a list to go over before we close up here is making sure that a few common patching experiences that I've noticed throughout patching hundreds of individuals is when you feel like you want more energy and you're desiring more energy, before that typically can come some temporary fatigue, right? So think about it. If we want to fill our cup up, but our cup is empty, it's going to take a lot of energy to fill that cup up, and we might feel tired before we're able to actually pour that energy into something. Same thing with better sleep. If we want better sleep, it might require vivid dreams first to work through some of those healing processes and what the body's wanting to communicate subconsciously. Same thing if we're wanting to decrease pain, we may have some old pain flares come up. So we may have pain in one area that may go away, but we have some old pain come up in a knee or a shoulder or something from a previous injury that's now regenerating tissue and actually healing when we thought it was already healed. Same thing with digestion, temporary bloating. I have wonderful Vital Energy series videos. You can tune into my YouTube channel for specific symptom-based healing loops. We just covered gut wisdom this week, and so it is a great way for you to tap into that temporary bloating, why it's necessary. Inflammation, heat, water or fluid is always there in the healing phase, so we need to honor that and trust our body and its believability that we have in our incredible vessel, and it's our innate intelligence that allows us to heal. And then a calm nervous system. If that we're desiring a calm nervous system and we have panic or we have anxiety or depression, we may be temporarily irritable because we have to feed back that loop. Always think it's a feedback loop. It's a healing circle. It's not this straight line. We're not just A plus B equals seeing it. We have a lot of things that communicate in our system. And it's always restoration. It's never a reaction. We're always just restoring things at the highest desire and the highest priority list that our own individual innate intelligence has. And so I want you to just be reassured that we have support systems here. We have individuals who are willing to share their testimonials and support you. All you have to do is just ask, and we can help you decode that. So again, just going over the simple things, we've went over the patches, how to open them, how to wear them, how to get into that education portal. There's a couple more ways that you can find other support outside of the Telegram group and outside of the education portal. That would be YouTube channel. So Team Love and Light YouTube channel is at youtube.com/@ Dr. Kayla Abide. We talk about how patches work, healing versus symptoms, and more in depth. Understanding detox responses. Like I said, those old injuries, those old wounds that may be resurfacing. So I invite you to subscribe to that. We post new videos almost weekly. And then also you get an opportunity in the Telegram group to have access to our private portal of our private vault of training replays. So we have a lot of things on the public side of YouTube, but there are also dozens and dozens and dozens, almost 80 hours of videos and training of all sorts and types in our private training vault that you get access to when you start patching. So if you want that link, drop it in the Telegram chat and we will get that to you. Last but not least, I said this in the beginning, but we have the opportunity to jump on this call and ask questions every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time outside of the holidays. Any updates to those dates will always be put in the Telegram group. That is my central hub where I post everything. We also have bi-weekly trainings on Wednesday on specific symptom-based things to talk about lifestyle foundations, optimizing healing, like we just talked about the gut, we've talked about sleep, we've talked about energy, we've talked about neurocognitive things, we've talked about pain, joint function, all of the things I go over and try to prioritize those to help you have more education as you move forward. So I want to just close today and invite you, if you do have any questions, make sure you get in direct contact with your sponsor. If you need any help, ask in the Telegram. We are here to help you. We want to make as many resources as easy and accessible for you to be able to tune into your body, because your body already knows how to heal. This is the ticket. We're not taking these patches and they're not magically putting them on, they're curing all of our issues. We're not treating anything. We're actually simply allowing the natural signal of intelligence in our body to have more gas in the gas tank, to bring our adaptation back online, to put more resources in our vital energy pool so that we can heal the way our body has always desired to. So I just want to invite you to congratulate yourself, because you're doing an incredible job by showing up and starting patching and getting this extra net on your body. And I invite you to share this patch with anybody that you know that you love on your heart, because I can promise you it will make a difference, and commit to it. Make a commitment to yourself for at least a year. I will say bare minimum 6 months, but I'm going to promise you at 1 year, 365 days of this little patch will completely transform your life in ways you never even imagined. So sending you all so much love. I hope you have a beautiful night. And now we will open up this time for questions.